CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Connor Hogg.
Good evening. From roads to rec centers, fire halls, buses, and beyond, Edmonton has a lot of aging infrastructure to maintain or replace and not enough money to pay for it. City staff say they're nearly $3 billion short of their ideal spend on renewal for the next 4 years. Today, councillors got a better sense of the difficult funding decisions on the horizon. CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports.
Unless you read the plaque outside of O'Leary Fitness Centre and Pool, you might not know it's more than 6 decades old. City staff are well aware of its age and the steep cost to renovate or replace it. They gave councillors a full renewal rundown at City Hall.
It's not just aquatic facilities, it's aging recreation centres, it's aging older city buildings, it's roadways, it's bridges.
Staff say overall, Edmonton's vast infrastructure inventory is in acceptable condition, but the gap between maintenance that's needed versus possible in the next 4 years is $2.8 billion.
We aren't able to continue to maintain investing ideal amounts in our infrastructure renewal. And so going forward, we do have risks that our overall state of condition of infrastructure is going to start to decline.
City staff have now quantified renewal deficits in every infrastructure category and prioritized projects for council's consideration. They recommend repaving this section of the White Mud, but not 10 blocks of 127th Street. Of the 98 arterial roads in need of renewal, staff recommend funding 40 of them, as it would cost an extra $266 million to pay for every project. Councillor Michael Jans says the renewal deficit shows why it's important to stop sprawl.
You can't keep building 12,000 kilometres of roads and then wonder why they're in poor shape.
While his colleague Aaron Rutherford believes council can help right the ship by showing restraint.
I'm becoming increasingly frustrated with the decisions of my colleagues related to growth and prioritizing growth projects.
Council will set the city's financial path forward for the next 4 years this fall. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
A man from Two Hills County has been charged with assaulting an Edmontonian who disappeared more than 20 years ago. Gerald Geek was reported missing in 2003 by friends who had not heard from him since 2002. He was 37 at the time. 54-year-old Kevin Wade Moraz has now been charged with aggravated assault and assault. Police believe Geek was assaulted in a South Edmonton home before leaving in a truck with Moraz and another person.
Information came to light in the investigation that immediately up to when Jerry went missing, he endured 2 very serious assaults. And I want to say that again, up until immediately when he went missing.
A photo of a 1992 GMC truck similar to the one Moraz drove in 2003 has been shared. Police say Moraz and Geek knew each other. Geek's disappearance is considered suspicious, and police are asking people with information to contact them. Police are urging people to come forward after dozens of robberies connected to online sales this year. Most recently, police charged 2 teenagers in connection to a string of Facebook Marketplace robberies. Police say the thieves targeted people selling iPhones between April and May. They would arrange meetups with the seller before robbing them of their item, usually using bear spray. The minors face a total of 7 charges. EPS says these crimes are severely underreported.
The biggest thing is just if you have been a victim of these crimes in the past and maybe they haven't gone reported to police, please, we are urging people to come forward. It's obviously if we don't know about the crime, we can't investigate it. And so we've had 26 reported in Edmonton this year so far. However, there is the possibility that some of these have gone unreported.
EPS encourages people to choose safe meeting locations, bring someone with you, and use designated buy and sell exchange zones. Valley Line LRT service downtown is back up and running this evening after an hours-long disruption caused by a Jeep crashing into a pole this morning. Police say around 7:30 in the morning, a speeding SUV hit a curb and spun into the pole at 100th Street and 102nd Avenue. The driver was taken to hospital with serious injuries. Police say the LRT was not hit, no other vehicles were involved, and no other injuries were reported. LRT services were disrupted for 7 hours due to the crash. An intersection near Southgate Centre is closed tonight for LRT track rehabilitation, which is expected to cause traffic disruptions. Part of 111th Street north and southbound at 51st Avenue will be reduced to one lane. Westbound 51st Avenue will be closed between 110th Street and 111th Street. Capital Line LRT service will be suspended between South Campus and Century Park stations with replacement bus service in place. The closures began at 10 p.m. and continue until 6 a.m. on Monday, with work happening 24 hours a day during the closure. And starting tomorrow, a portion of 132nd Avenue in North Edmonton will close for renewal work. 90th Street to Delwood Road will close. The 82nd Street intersection will stay open to north and south traffic. The closure is scheduled to last until the end of August. Several boats and docks belonging to two organizations in our city have been on quite a journey down the North Saskatchewan River. They were found by a fishing company and secured, but not before some had traveled about 200 kilometers down the river. CTV's Amanda Anderson reports.
5 boats and a dock belonging to the Edmonton Rowing Club took a trip down the North Saskatchewan River Monday morning. The club asked people to report sightings in hopes they could recover them. A similar situation at the Edmonton Dragon Boat Racing Club.
The ramp, the dock, and 7 boats were all swept away. We had them anchored with 3 chains to very heavy concrete blocks, essentially, anchoring them onto the ground. Or from the ground, and to have all 3 chains snap and then the dock shear off, hard to believe.
Lunker's Fishing Adventures, who were on the river north of Two Hills shooting a fishing show, came across the rowing club's items.
We tried getting them to shore, but the current was way too fast. And we got big horsepower jet boats, still couldn't get them to shore.
He says a helicopter led them to the dragon boats.
Attached to the dock, they were wrapped around a bridge pillar, and it was amazing that we salvaged what we could. It was wild how we got her done.
Getting the dragon boats dislodged and to shore wasn't easy.
Water's flowing so fast. Like normally our river runs at about 200 cubic meters a second. I've got an app in the city. And the day we left for the fishing show was at over 1,000 cubic meters a second.
Nor was getting them out. The club's VP helped pick them up Tuesday evening. He says some weigh over 500 pounds.
Getting them out of the water and on shore and onto a trailer was quite a feat.
In 2 days, the boats and docks traveled about 200 kilometers down the river. The rowing club's boats and dock still have a ways to go.
Got about an hour to float it down the river to get it to a boat launch and then disassemble.
They're also on the lookout for dragon boats. Only 5 of the 7 were found. Some are damaged, but how badly and whether they'll have to dish out tens of thousands of dollars to replace them is still not known. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
One city councillor says she's disappointed the Edmonton Police Commission is moving ahead with a tow lot expansion instead of moving it. Councillor Aaron Rutherford sent a letter to the commission about the need for a new lot, citing increasing demand for parking enforcement. Her letter says the current impound lot capacity is limiting enforcement, with 560 vehicles currently waiting to be towed. In a reply shared by Rutherford, the Police Commission reaffirmed plans to expand the lot later this year to resolve capacity issues. Rutherford says it won't solve safety concerns.
If the tow lot, as per the letter, actually increases capacity once the yellowhead is done, that's even going to be more significant impact to the neighborhood and the neighbors in Prince Charles. And that's my ultimate concern.
Rutherford says it would not be financially responsible for the city to put its money towards creating its own tow lot. A memo to city councillors shows half of parking lot owners in Edmonton's core are skirting a bylaw that requires them to obtain a permit and upgrade their lot. At the end of 2024, the city changed a bylaw to require 113 surface parking lots in the core to apply for a temporary parking permit. The development permit also required lot upgrades to make them safer and prettier. They have to apply by the end of the month. A memo to councillors says so far 66 lots have applied. Councillor Michael Jan says a year and a half has been plenty of time for lot owners to get their permit.
The city has been more than compliant in trying to assist these owners in shaping up or shipping out, and now we're at the point where you might see some jersey barriers popping up at the entrances.
The memo says 18 of those 66 permit applications have been approved. A building that stood for nearly a century in downtown Edmonton is up for sale. The CIBC building on the corner of Jasper Avenue and 101st Street was built in 1929. The building is 5 stories, has access to the pedway, and includes nearly 60,000 square feet of space, including the basement. The executive director of the Downtown Business Association says this vacancy provides an opportunity to bring new life to the core. He says he's looking forward to the building's next milestone as it approaches its 100th anniversary in 2029. No price has been listed on the ad. Alberta Health Services says not to swim at Alberta Beach because of elevated levels of bacteria that it found in the lake water. HS is issuing the Water Quality Health Advisory recommending not to wade in the water at the beach on Lac St. Anne. HS says contact with the water could result in gastrointestinal illness, as well as skin, ear, or eye infections. The health advisory is effective immediately and will remain until further notice. All this rain we've been seeing lately has plenty of people hoping for a less active wildfire season. Alberta Wildfire says even with the extra moisture helping out, the current situation could easily change. We are under the 5-year number of wildfires average so far this season, as well as the number of hectares burned. Alberta Wildfire says it's been a slow start to this year's wildfire season, and while all that rain we've gotten lately is helpful in the short term, fire conditions can change quickly, and people shouldn't get complacent.
We saw a lot of rain here in the central regions. We're seeing a lower wildfire danger from the central regions down to the south, but it is high to very high in the northern parts of the province, and that can change really quickly too. We're seeing a little bit of wind speeds. The wildfires can still start, so that's important to remind people that we still need to be mindful even though it has rained.
A number of wildfires are burning across Alberta right now. One classified as out of control is near the high-level forest area. While the cause is still under investigation, Alberta Wildfire says there was lightning in that area yesterday afternoon. There are additional fires classified as out of control in the Peace River, Slave Lake, and Fort McMurray forest areas. Despite today's loss, Canada is advancing to the knockout stage of the FIFA World Cup for the first time in team history. During today's game, it was shoulder to shoulder at Ice District's Fan Park, packed with people cheering on the men's national team. CTV's Evan Kenny reports.
The first half finished 0-0, but there was still plenty for Canadian fans to cheer for, with the two teams trading chances.
It's Kyle Lowry for Canada.
I think it was a solid first half. It was back and forth. We had some chances, they had some chances, but overall we need to step up the intensity a little bit.
I'm a bad luck charm for the Oilers. Every Oilers game I watch, they lose, so hopefully it's the opposite for Canada in soccer.
The bad luck may have followed this fan. Switzerland scored 1 minute into the second half.
1-0 for Switzerland!
And a few minutes later, the Swiss struck again. In the 75th minute, hope. The sea of red in Ice District erupted for Canada's first goal. It cut the Swiss lead in half. Canada fought until the end, but couldn't bury a tying goal. But it's not all bad news.
Edmonton showed out. The whole country showed out. This is a once-in-a-lifetime event, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I couldn't be prouder of our boys today or our city.
The men's national team now sits second in their group and will advance to the knockout stage for the first time ever.
Have fun, go for it. Like, everything after this is absolute gravy, so everything's good right now.
Coming up next, a new McDonald's restaurant will have Indigenous design built into its architecture. And also just ahead, people who live in southern Alberta react after finding out the shooter in a Montreal attack was their neighbor.
Because you always hear these things happening on TV and you never think it's going to happen where you live.
Good evening, folks. We had a beautiful day here in Edmonton. We expect 2 more warm days ahead of a rainy weekend ahead, cooler temperatures, and some rain in the forecast. The full forecast in a few minutes.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
People in a Lethbridge neighborhood are shaken after learning the shooter in a Montreal attack lived nearby. 3 people were killed, including a bystander and police officer. CTV's Carson Marsouk has more on what we know about the suspect.
Seth Scott Hatfield is being described as someone who kept to himself and wasn't approachable.
I interacted with him maybe a couple of times. He was, pretty remote.
Investigators say the 25-year-old is responsible for Monday's attack in Montreal that left a police officer and civilian dead. Hatfield was also killed. By Tuesday morning, Lethbridge police confirmed they were working with officials in Quebec. Officers have not said if a high-risk search warrant in Varsity Village was connected, but neighbors tell CTV News that Hatfield lived in one of the townhomes. They say a vehicle belonging to Hatfield was also searched. Police cleared out by Wednesday morning, leaving neighbors with so many questions.
Because you always hear these things happening on TV and you never think it's going to happen where you live.
Hatfield graduated from Catholic Central High School in 2019 and went on to study philosophy at the University of Lethbridge, where he made the Dean's List. Former classmates said he was quiet and introverted. Police are piecing together his movements from southern Alberta to Montreal and his motivation. Investigators found a more than 100-page manifesto in his Montreal hotel room containing violent messages against women and police, along with themes inspired by the incel movement, blaming video games and pornography for increased loneliness in young men.
What's really interesting in what I've read so far in the manifesto, which is a little atypical from other cases that I've worked, is there seems to be a profound lack of emotion. The writing is very well done, and it underscores a whole variety of injustices.
The investigation continues.
You don't ever know about people, right? You worry about some people, but it's been a quiet neighborhood out here.
Carson Marsouk, CTV News, Lethbridge.
A reminder about the dangers of drunk driving is hitting the roads in Edmonton. A wrecked vehicle will be displayed at locations across the city. The Crashed Car campaign raises awareness and encourages people to plan ahead before a night out. MAD says impaired driving kills an average of 4 people a day, with hundreds of others injured.
I know people personally who've had loved ones taken away because they were walking on the sidewalk, because they were trying to cross the road. Like, literally, just by being, you are at risk of an impaired driver. So we need to just keep putting the message out there that this is happening day in and day out, and we just need to do a better job.
The Crashed Car campaign runs through September. A new McDonald's coming to the Tsuut'ina Nation is doing something new. Groundbreaking is underway just outside of Calgary. The collaboration between McDonald's and Tsuut'ina Nation is guided by the Cultural Advisory Working Group. It will ensure Tsuut'ina heritage, values, and vision are embedded in the location through art and design. This will be the first McDonald's anywhere to take these steps. The restaurant will open at the end of the year. Villa Caritas gave a boost to seniors and their caregivers this afternoon. Seniors were recognized and celebrated during today's event. There was a barbecue and vendors letting people know about the support and services they offer. Villa Caritas specializes in mental health care and support for seniors. The program manager says there's always a chance to do more for older people who need help.
Definitely, I think there's more awareness, education, and celebration of our seniors that could be occurring, and advocating for supports and services for them both in hospital or out in the community, and building those services around our population and valuing what they have to offer us.
June is Seniors Month. With record attendance expected at this year's Calgary Stampede, officials are beefing up security.
We've changed the design of our security lanes. We've provided some additional training. We're implementing some quality control measures. So certainly we've looked at timing, we've looked at genres, we've looked at, what potential draw might be. And so those are all things that we consider.
The changes were prompted after 3 people were stabbed after a concert last year. About 600 cameras and a heavier police presence will be on site. A new operations center has also been set up. Coming up after the break, local dermatologists say they're worried about the spread of online misinformation tied to the trend of tan maxing.
Be careful what you wish for, because in a short term you may get acute sunburn,
with blisters with pain, your skin may not necessarily be tanning well.
Programming brought to you by the Alberta Securities Commission. Visit checkfirst.ca.
Welcome back. Taking a look at today's highs. In Edmonton, we saw a daytime high of 25 degrees. Again, the warm spots across the province. Up in the northwest part of Alberta, we had high-level Peace River, Grand Prairie, Jasper coming in at 28 degrees today. Taking a look at the temperatures from today, as mentioned, Edmonton with a high of 25 degrees. That's 3 degrees above average. So it was a pretty good day today. And taking a look at the futurecast. And so we are expecting to see some really nice temperatures over the next few days. And we can see some of, on lower parts of the province, we are starting to see some scattered showers, potential for thunder showers. However, those storm cells are expected to miss Edmonton. We're looking at, the western part where it has been quite dry in the northwest part of the province. So any sort of precipitation they get up there, they'll probably be very happy for it. However, again, Edmonton, we are not expecting to see any showers over the next couple of days. Well, somewhat over the next couple of days. We'll get to that in a moment. Taking a look at the temperatures in the morning, we're looking about mid to the high teens. And then tomorrow afternoon, once again, we're going to see high level. That's going to be leading the way when it comes to temperatures across the province, looking at mid to high teens, a little bit cooler in southern Alberta. Over in Edmonton for the 5-day forecast. So I did mention that we are expecting to see some beautiful temperatures over the next couple of days. However, come Friday night, we are expecting to see some showers rolling in, about a 60% chance to see some storms, some weather, some wet activity Friday evening. That is going to continue into the weekend. Now, we're not going to see the same precipitation levels we saw last weekend. However, be aware of overland flooding, just with how saturated the ground could still be in Edmonton and in other parts of the province. However, again, we can expect to see some cooler temperatures and some wet weather again for this weekend. And that's a look at your forecast.
The city might not be in a heat wave, but a wave of new online misinformation about the sun is worrying some health experts. CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti has more on tan maxing and the warnings against it.
Many Edmontonians have been craving a chance to embrace the summer sun.
I do just like when it's really sunny outside, like to let myself bake as long as possible.
Some are even checking the UV index.
I'll check it and I'll see when it's like at the highest, and that's usually when I'll go out. I want to go for like 30 minutes to like an hour on each side, because I don't want to burn, but I also want to get like a little bit of color.
There are some who are taking that to the extreme. The term tan maxing is making the rounds on social media, encouraging people to get as tan as possible.
As someone who's had a lot of rough sunburns in her life, I don't think it's worth it.
Dermatologists agree. The longer you bask in the sun, the sooner you can face skin problems.
If skin cancer doesn't scare you, which it should, how about the fact that skin will not work as well, will not look as good, will have blotchy pigmentation, and will be very fragile.
Sapiashko has seen the consequences of previous generations' own versions of tan maxing, like tanning beds, warning against doing whatever it takes to achieve that deep bronze.
Be careful what you wish for, because in a short term, you may get acute sunburn with blisters with pain. Your skin may not necessarily be tanning well.
While tan maxing isn't advised, you can still enjoy the sunshine in small doses. Experts advise wearing sunscreen, but even that isn't safe for misinformation, which is the focus of a study from the University of Alberta.
And a lot of this is coming from health influencers. It's coming from individuals associated with the manospheres.
Part of it includes fear-mongering and misinformation, with videos suggesting the ingredients in sunscreen cause cancer.
The chemicals that are in sunscreen are safe. These products have been tested, they've been studied. So you should use sunscreen that you feel comfortable with, but get sunscreen that is science-based.
Regardless of why you're out in the sun, Dr. Mariusz Sapiashko says the best type of maxing you can do is wearing sunscreen with an SPF 30 or higher. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
Thanks for watching us tonight. For the latest news anytime, visit our website, ctvnewsedmonton.ca. Thank you for spending your time here. Have a good night.